Hey, what's up, everybody? What is going on? It's your man Jay, and we are back with my man, my Project 13. And it feels weird calling you my Project 13. I just want to say Anthony. You know, it's weird, but that's what your channel is.
Yeah,
Uh, it feels weird saying, "Hey, back on my Project 13." So I just did a premiere. So I hope you guys check that out. Anthony's latest video. I think it's 4G on his 4A Pixel 4a 5G when he's driving, testing out the 4K 60. We'll be doing some video updates on that device together. So
yeah,
stay tuned
yeah.
for that. Yeah, stay tuned for that coming up sometime next month. We'll go ahead and do videos on that together. There it is. He's got his geared up with the 2D
Tudia,
Emerge.
Tudia.
Yep. That case is one that it's just anyone can recognize it. You know what the 2D Emerge looks like. So
Definitely, definitely.
yeah, it's good to go. So we're meeting again. It is Tuesday, and we are back again to chat. So Big House, he finally caught us live. Yeah, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, we are here. So you can catch us live Tuesdays at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Man, there's Jose, man. Look, there's Jose. I can't believe Jose is it. What's up, man?
Deep and there's Deepak.
Yeah, Deepak is here. Jose is here.
Got the regular
The
crew.
regulars.
Matthew's here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't believe it. So we are here. We are here every Tuesday at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time as of right now. This works for both of us. It's really good. You know what I'm saying? So this will be a good one for us to talk about.
yeah. A lot of the times I come in kind of blind to the conversations we're gonna have. I mean, you send me some,
Me
some
too.
info, but then I really don't think much about it until like that
Yeah.
day, and then I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna say when Jay throws out a
Yeah.
question? you know?
No, yeah, no Q&A, no Q&A or anything like that. We're just kind of chatting about our opinions on folding phones. But he's telling the truth. That's exactly how it works. Every week, right now, I'm thinking of some topics, and I'm sure he'll come down with some topics, or we'll discuss things together. So again, coming up, where I don't see Tony.
Tony's in there.
Where?
He says howdy.
Oh, I don't see him. Oh, there he is. It went so fast for me. Okay, I see it now. What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? Tony, I sent you a DM, but I guess you didn't get it. I asked you if you wanted to come on. That was like 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Anyway, um, coming up next week, we'll be either next week or the week after, we'll be discussing the Pixel 4a 5G and its relevance, and it is definitely uh, a relevant device. So we'll leave that. We'll table that for next week. I am on my latest laptop, my Omen HP. Streaming on this one, I think I've been actually doing a lot of gaming, man. I'm telling you, this thing is great. Not heavy intensive graphic gaming, but I just been playing Striker Force. It's a real time online game where you get to fight and battle everybody straight up real time. It's really nice. It's on PC right now. So okay, Tony, yeah, enjoy your job, man. You gotta get that bread. So today's topic is definitely something that's going to be. It's just going to be here, man. Folding devices aren't going anywhere, but are they going to take off anytime soon? That to me really is what's going to determine the life of the folding devices when they'll actually hit mainstream. And I saw a comment from somebody in one of my comments. The person said that they won't take off until Apple does it, and I just think that's kind of a joke. That's kind of funny. That's just weird. Apple people look to Apple to try to imply that they drive the market, when in reality they don't really drive the market. It's just their marketing tricks people to me into believing that they have the better product. You do get their services, and really that's all Apple's doing is selling you services. But Apple will make a folding device like this, and then I'm going to laugh at everybody who said that this was a bad type of folding device. Apple's not going to do a plastic screen, because they already charge about $600-700 to fix their iPhone screens, and the devices cost $600-700. You know what I'm saying? So Apple's greedy like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to drive the market into folding devices. It's really people. I personally feel like LG. And, the Big House already said it. Big House already said it. LG set the standards really when it came to folding devices. They were kind of the ones that kind of brought it through, and people just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? That people aren't ready for change. And that's what I think about folding devices. People are so quick to write things off just because for a couple reasons they're not interested in it, or they just have their own personal reasons of why they don't like it without touching it, without using it. The Z Fold, Z Fold 3, there'll be links in the description of this video afterwards so you can register to reserve your Z Fold. But I just think folding devices, if it's done right, it's going to always be out front of a single screen device. Now, you've never used a folding device regularly, so you don't know the experience that you could possibly have. But I can guarantee you, if I were to send you this and say, hey, use it for a week, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have trouble going back to a single device after 3 days. You're going to be like, man, I was able to have a full YouTube page on one side and email on the other, or talk to my wife on the other side, or make a phone call on the other side. It's going to be difficult for you to go back to a regular folding device. It's just impossible. Now, I know you had the LG device, but that's different. You can detach that. Having to use this full throttle is fantastic, man. This is a much better build quality too than any other folding device that you could ever possibly imagine. I definitely tell you, man, I done the unlock. This is the 18 version, AT&T version originally. I got it unlocked for free through Microsoft. It's totally worth $400. It's worth $700-800 when you think about it. They're fixing the software. Hey, there she is. Gigi, what's going on? Donald, I see you guys coming in. Eric, I see you guys coming in. Microsoft has done fantastic by their consumers, but this is on the July security patch, and I've got other premium devices that are not on a July, and that are folding devices that are not on the July security patch. Now, you've never regularly used an official folding device, Anthony. So,
no,
you use the LG with the detachable screen. That's totally different. I can tell you that's totally different because you don't have the option to convert this to a single screen. But for those that actually, I'm not just promoting the Surface Duo. This is the folding device I have in my hand at the moment. But for those who are actually just using a folding device, they would all tell you that it is very difficult to go back to a single screen device once you start using a dual screen device like this. You have to experience it, unlike the detachable screen. So now the detachable screens aren't bad ideas. Those are fantastic ideas because you do have the option to go back. But do you think you'll ever get to a point where, you say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just pick up the Surface. It is only $329 now, or I found one for $250 in new condition. I mean, I'm not losing anything by picking this up. You think right now, how are you with folding devices at the moment? How do you feel about them? Even though you've never had this
when folding devices came out, I thought it was cool. It's part of what innovation is. And if you're a techie at heart, you're interested in innovation, intrigued with innovation. But at the time, and even now, I think for me, being wise with the money I have and what I bring in and decisions that I make to bring in for the channel and for myself and the channel, with the price point and where it's at, for the channel, my channel, and how I basically kick out all my funds. It's all out of my own pocket. I make a little bit on YouTube, but it's not enough to warrant me spending that kind of money as of yet.
$400?
No, I was talking when the foldables first started coming out.
Definitely, you can get them
now. Recently, I was actually going to look into buying one, but something else came up that I was looking for, and I went ahead and got that, and that's on its way now.
Yeah,
I'll be getting that in a couple days.
Oh, nice.
So I can let you know what that is. I'm not going to let anybody else know, so you're going to have to wait and just watch the channel. But I am now more intrigued with this whole foldable flip, but more so with the flip. I think for me, it's going to start with the flip, and then I'll probably move into the foldable.
You
I'm
will.
I'm getting near that, and I'm not going to say I never will, because that attitude, for who I am, and as like I said, a techie at heart, that was my whole view with Apple and their iPhones, and at some point I got into it, and I I love my experience on an iPhone ever since I was able to pick
Yeah.
one up, which was the iPhone 8, and from there it went to the 11, the SE, and now the phone that I'm using for the stream, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So I like having an Apple device around, but I'm way more into the whole Android experience.
Yeah.
But I'm now at that chapter in my life, with this channel and for myself, that I'm ready to jump on board, but I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to go with the flip, and then after that, probably the foldable.
It'll
So,
make you migrate into. It'll make you want to go to the bigger device. Now, since we've been speaking, there's a couple of comments I want to address here.
okay.
Steve said that until influencers start to use them regularly, and I'm assuming that's when he's talking about they'll take off. And then Eric says the key is not using innovation for innovation's sake, rather the better user experience in real world use cases. And that is where those two comments to me go hand in hand. Steve's comment and Eric's comment go hand in hand, because there's a lot of people out there that just want to talk about now. And remember, I'm not an influencer, I'm a reviewer. So I don't label myself as an influencer, even though people say, oh, I got that based on your video. That's cool. But I'm not here to influence anyone to buy anything. I'm here to actually buy this stuff, use it, give you my real world case scenarios with it, and keep it moving. If you choose to buy it, that's on you. But when something is good, and I've been behind the eight ball like this before with the Essential phone and with the HTC Ultra. There's several phones and devices that I've gotten behind, and then the tech world says, "Nah, you don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. That's you. That's your experience. I'm not influenced by what someone else says, whether it's good or bad. I like to just buy it and get it in hand." And that's why I like those two comments from and everyone's posting some good comments. I just those two stood out to me, and I think they go hand in hand. Uh, the Duo is a functional device. Now Gigi's in the stream, and she has about three or four or five foldable devices, all from different shapes, sizes, and she would contest that. She would tell you, and several other people that have, even down to the LG G8, any of the LG devices that go together. I still have my Velvet. Um, Once you start to go with more than one screen, it's more about finding that fit that's going to make your life easier when it comes to a daily use situation. I personally feel like that comment from Steve. You know, if a bunch of influencers, who you see like today, the Sony EV10, EV10, ZV-E10 dropped, and a whole bunch of influencers had it already, right? Now, if it just takes for those people who have the voice to use it in a certain way. So these people who are always getting the devices from the companies because the companies want them to promote the product, they want them to promote the product to get more sales. So like Eric or Steve said earlier, if the influencers all carry Surface Duos, you and I both know that all these people following them for iPhones and stuff like that they'll be right on it, like, oh yeah, the Surface Duo is the best thing ever. Those are people that are influenced by influencers. When in turn, I try to avoid watching a lot of influencers, and I have to treat it like entertainment. And that's about the best I can, kind of, look at that situation. But it's foldable devices. Hey, Tech Love and Mom, I see you guys coming in. Foldable devices are functional. It's just a matter of a person willing to drop what they think about a phone should be. And this again goes on to people wanting to take risks and chances. People always say they want companies to innovate. Well, this is real innovation. You may not like how it was done the first time. This isn't, to me, this doesn't feel like a first gen device. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel, some devices feel like a first gen device. This hardware is so premium. I can guarantee you, man, you'll be like, I got to use Eric from East Coast Systems as an example. His on his video, he did not want anything to do with this because of the initial price. It's like you and it's like all of us, but I ended up getting it with the initial price. But he didn't want anything to do with it. But once he got it, he opened that box and he did like everyone out there. Grant S, they all said, wow, this is this hardware is crazy. This does not feel like one would say a first generation device. The software when it came out, yeah, it was kind of first gen because it was totally messing up. But now this is on the July security patch as of yesterday, and it is flowing. This is a complete device. Does it only have one camera? Yeah. No, no, even devices with more than one camera still aren't great. They're not, all of them aren't great, but I just think that foldable devices, when it's just given to a consumer to genuinely, like I'm saying, like give them the device and take away their phone and say adjust. Anyone can do it. It's just a matter of do you want to. So if you had to give up all of your devices and send them to me and then I sent you this for a week, you honestly believe you couldn't do it.
Oh, I could do it.
Exactly. You can edit on this thing. Power Director Pro, everything is Android. It works all the same.
I think
So
I think
what's going
I
on,
think
Grant?
I think you just hit a key word with me on that, uh, because I edit all my videos on my phones, and sometimes when I'm in Power Director into that app on a phone like this, sometimes I get a little close, like I'm trying to. So that's for me, having a device like that, or any kind of foldable, the editing process on something like that would be amazing. See, now I don't want a laptop, I don't want a tablet to do that on, but if I could have both, and that's where it's intriguing for me, because now I have a phone, watch my movies, and I can have a bigger space for editing, which would be great. So I got the two in one. I don't need that tablet, but if it folds out into one, then it's already there. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the benefit that's where I can see it would benefit me and the channel, for, obviously for fun, but for that editing processing, the process of that's something I could totally immerse myself into a foldable smartphone. So yeah, I think that's where I'm trying to think what would, without having it in hand, where could I benefit off having a device like that? And I have to go down the checklist. And then next it's getting my hands on one and
Yeah.
seeing how
I,
that
and
pans out. You know what I'm saying?
I've told a lot of people, I said, hey, in order to get in the door, I would recommend that you just definitely grab the AT&T version because it's the cheapest way, most affordable way. And you can look online. Gigi found hers. Gigi found a 256 gig unlocked model for 470 online. It was a like mint condition. Appreciate the super chat from Intel Wow, man. I still have not picked up this wireless charger. You'd be amazed how many packages I get daily. Uh, but man, he has been put, and it's a shame. I have $60. You know what I'm saying? I could just get the $60 and order the charger. Every time I plan on ordering, I end up forgetting, and I start going through other review items, and I know it's good. I believe you. You know what I'm saying? I know you wouldn't lie to me. So I was firing up my Power Director real quick to show you the way it will possibly look for you. Look at that canvas.
Grant's in the stream.
Yeah, I see Grant's in there. Check it
Hello,
out, Anthony.
Grant.
This is Power Director Pro.
Yeah, see, that would be so nice.
Massive. So I see a couple of comments here. I'm not ignoring your comments. I'm gonna go back through here. I want to highlight some of these comments. You said I never multitask until I got a folding device. You see, so there's just a whole bunch going on with multitasking with these devices. They're really good, and she has both kinds of folding devices. She has the one like this with the two separate screens, and then she has the other ones have the full screen. Let me see here. I saw some comments up here from different people here. Trent says price nowadays kind of makes or breaks the first impressions of a product, and that's true. Even though I hate that it's like that, you know, I just don't like that price. People look at the price of something and say, "Oh, it's not going to be any good." I just don't like when people do that. And this is what people do. Deepak says the Z Fold style phones are priced way too high. Yeah, that's true. The pricing on Samsung phones. Okay, now some people are saying, the Surface Duo is trash, it's overpriced. But then in turn, they will spend $2,000 or finance $2,000 on a Z Fold 2 or 3. Samsung is currently offering. I can't stress enough. You better reserve your device because you get those credits, even if you're not going to buy it. I have a link somewhere around here. Yeah, here it is. Even if you're not going to buy it, you definitely should just reserve it because you'll get those credits. I've been telling people, you probably should just reserve it just to get those credits, and later on you can decide whether you want it or not. But Samsung prices on their devices are expensive. I think we all know this, and they're going to be expensive. This is a fact. This isn't something that's fiction. The Surface came out. Now, think of this for just a second. Now, you remember when the Surface launched? I got it at launch, and I paid that full cost. I ended up selling that one for like 12. Then the guy came back and saying, "Oh, there's a mark on it," so I took more money off. It's all good. I lost on that one, but I've gained since then because I've bought it again and got it for as low as price as possible. But what if the Surface Duo would have launched with flawless software to couple with the hardware? Then what will people have said about what would have been the complaint about the Surface Duo? The only thing people could complain about really, it's got that seam down the middle. I don't think once you get two full displays like this, it's going to be hard to go back. I stand firm on that. It's just way too hard to use a single screen after you've been using a dual screen, not just the Surface Duo. The Fold 2 was that was my creator's device of the year. Yeah. That was my creator's device of the year. So the Fold 2 is a great phone, but there's a whole bunch more I like about the Surface Duo. Mainly, it doesn't have a plastic display. It doesn't have a plastic display.
And Grant
you see
says,
this comment from Grant?
Yeah, he says you need a larger foldable since you do everything on your phone. The Flip never got DeX either.
Oh yeah. The first generation Flip never got DeX, so you couldn't even use it with DeX. I just think that if we don't ever open up to the idea of change, and this is how our world is, man, people do not like the idea of opening up, for change. This is our world. This isn't something that's new, even with our regular lives. This is how people operate. Yeah, because they would complain about the bezels. Trent, he says that the complaint will always be you can get an Apple or a Samsung for the same money, but you're not getting the same experience. He's right, but you're not getting the same experience. People aren't open to change. LG phones basically started it all, in my opinion. Yeah, LG phones for them to have gotten ran out of business. They started a lot of things when it comes to the tech world. Whether people want to give them credit or not, they started a lot of things when it comes to the tech world. They put a lot of things on the map, and then other companies come along and act like they created everything. So, again, navigating this tech world can be difficult for some. And, some others, we know how to navigate it without seeing all the nonsense, getting stopped at the road with all the nonsense,
Yeah.
So I personally think by 2025, folding devices will be in regular conversation. And some people will use that argument that Trent put up, well, it's not a Samsung or Apple. Samsung is still using the plastic display or the plastic overlay over the thin sheet of glass. That's to your disadvantage because if it just takes one cut and it's done. Or I've seen some people selling them pre-owned and they've opened it so much. You start to get a little bit of wear in the inside, and it's less than a year old. You don't have that with two official
Jane,
screens.
I think that sets a negative tone too. And we don't know actually how many times that's actually going on out there too.
Yeah.
If the percentage of those kind of situations are high or they're just being over exaggerated. But I think for somebody that's coming in and looking at a $2,000 foldable and that's what they're seeing, they want to know, okay, you know what, if I put my money on that, what kind of help am I going to get to fix that issue? Is there something that these companies are offering? But there's going to be that negative and positive argument. The more and more companies that jump onto this whole foldable thing, the better for the consumer. And over time, these the aesthetics are going to get better and better. You're going to see prices come down and so forth. But it's convincing the consumer why and what kind of care are you going to give them once they come across an issue. And I think that right now, that's what kind of sets off some people. Like, why would I need something like that? Number one, why am I going to pay that much? And how dependable is the hardware on that? So it's convincing them, it's showing them marketing, and showing that these companies are going to take care of the customer if they run across an issue. So there's a
Now,
lot of there's a lot of
what
things
do you
going to
think?
that.
What do you think Apple's selling pitch will be when they bring out a folding device? What do you think this scam they're going to come up with? What's
I
going to
don't
be this
know,
big scam they come up with? They always
but
hype everything up like they created everything.
right. And I think that earlier, I don't know who it was who said that, but it could be true. As soon as Apple launches whatever they launch, it could be the thing that breaks it open. But that's sad because whatever they say or do or how they do it, you know, it may benefit other companies. Finally, they could say, you know what? Well, they're going to charge $2,000. Ours only costs 600 now. So that whole thing may benefit a lot of other companies to bring down their pricing against something that Apple brings out because they're going to charge a hefty price regardless.
I think people are going to drive their prices up because people label Apple as premium. The people think that Apple products are just so premium over other products, and that's not always the case.
Well,
In my
yeah,
opinion, it's not
it's
always the
not.
case that Apple has the most premium devices. It is a thing; they do have some premium devices, but all of the devices they don't have the top premium devices over everybody else. That's just not realistic. But I think some companies will try to follow Apple like they always do for some reason instead of making their own lane and drive the prices up. Because it does seem like um, you know people look at Apple as just the leader of the industry just because of sales. I've told people, just because something is the only time I'm fully behind Apple is on the computing side. Their cell phones are in no way competition for a ton of Android phones. None.
Oh no, no,
Only
I
thing they
agree.
have
I
going for
agree.
them is the cameras. To me, that's it. Like in the end, some people are going to say, "Oh, the ecosystem." Well, it's cool to have an ecosystem, but it's expensive to be in the ecosystem. That's the only thing Apple has going on their cell phones to me as their cameras. Their cameras are really, really good. But after that, I don't think they compete with Android phones at all. If you just lay them all on the table, I'm not going to pick an iPhone because it has good cameras. I want to pick a Pixel because it has great cameras and great battery and great software. And it's subjective. The software, these things are subjective. I'm not saying I'm right in what I'm saying. I'm saying, in my opinion, I don't think the iPhones they're boring after just a short period of time. I do less on my iPhone too. I can run my both websites from an Android phone with no problem. On an iPhone, I got to stop and go to a computer because it can't do certain things. All the way down to the basics of sharing. Like sharing an article, you can't do it on an Apple device. There'll be some people that come along and say, "Yeah, you can. You're doing it wrong." Okay, if you think so, I've tried everything on the website to run, uh, you know, the website from an iPhone. I just can't do it. It's too much of a hassle. I have to do too much to do the basics when I can just flick open my Android phone and boom, I've got the post going and I'm done. So it's totally my opinion on that. I don't think any of the Apple iPhones are better than most of the majority of. You take a phone like the Zenfone 8. Nobody's even talking about this phone. Nobody's talking about it. Some people don't even know what the Zenfone 8 is. I can tell you it's better than probably all of the current iPhones, in my opinion.
Oh, I would definitely
Expensive.
enjoy the experience way more.
Yeah, I
And I
mean,
haven't had it just by looking at the specs and looking at the
yeah,
device itself. I know that I would enjoy myself way more with that device than what I get out of my. I love my iPhone, but it's still just what it is. It's not. I hate that
yeah,
I have to take 20 steps just to get to the camera settings still. So that's my complaint.
yeah. I love Grant's comment right here. People love to say this right here. Apple wasn't first, but they get it
They get
right.
it right.
That's such the corniest. A couple of people said that, and I appreciate it, Donald. Appreciate it, sir. A couple of people say that it's amazing how the people are influenced by what they see in front of them. It's like How old are you again? You're just going to believe what these people said? That's what I think about. I just can't believe that some people are just immediately going to accept what someone said just because they're telling you it's great. Oh, it only costs $7,000, but you really should look into this. I'm like, what? You can finance it. Oh man, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And there's a lot of great conversations going on in the
Oh
feed
yeah,
here.
the chat's rolling. I think most almost 99% of the things you hear are going to be like a person's perspective on it. And I'm not talking about Big House. I'm just saying in general. I just haven't put that comment up. But in general, 99% of the things that you see, um, are just a person's opinion. It's not a fact. But that's the problem with some people who are influenced by influencers. Now, the Surface Duo 2, there's so many people out there that I get so tired of hearing this comment. I'm gonna wait on the second generation. You might as well just wait on the second generation. The other one will be better. Says who? These people didn't buy the first gen, but they're so caught up on what they read and see online. The thing is, no device, if it's man made, it's gonna break, and it is definitely not perfect. It will fail. It will fail. So at some point or another, it's going to break down. A great example is my M1 Mac Mini. That's fairly brand new, right? I mean, I've had it since it's come out, but still fairly brand new. I'm on the middle of a live stream. It shut off on me. It just shut off on the middle of a live stream. And I was like, wow. But it has 8 gigs of RAM. So I said, you know what? I've got 16 gigs of RAM, and I've got the new Ryzen 7. I've got a 16 gig of RAM laptop over there as well with the Core 11. I got some powerful machines over there. I have no problems with streaming with, and that's what I'll do. That's what I decided to do. So I'm not going to stream with this Mac Mini all the time because it failed in the middle of my live stream. Like it literally shut itself off and rebooted in the middle of my live stream. And Apple can sell it any way they want to, but it only has 8 gigs of RAM. And it has a shared memory in there too. But I think that's the reason that it shut off. It used up too many resources. So Apple, while they're a great company for certain things, they definitely. I just don't know. I mean, what year do you think Apple's going to release a folding device?
Well, they're saying I think they were saying well, they were hoping by next year is what they were saying, but I don't know. Could be another 2 years, and it'll still be the first, right?
It'll still be the first.
That get it
I
right.
think. I don't know. I yawned when you said, excuse me, excuse me, Apple fans.
And it still takes 20 steps to get to the camera settings.
Oh man, you can tap down and change them on the iPhone now. You can just swipe down and change 4K, 60. You can do that now. But how long did it take for them to do that?
But
10 years, 11 years?
But they did it right, man.
Yeah, but they did it right. And it's not a shade throwing contest at Apple,
we're
though.
not here to knock the iPhone.
No, yeah, that's
it's all
what
it's
I'm
all
saying.
in fun. What we're saying is in comparison to, and we're going by what these guys love to push. We're not trying to take away your time with if you love your iPhone, man, and if
Oh, yeah.
your experience is great, that's awesome, man. That's not what it's just the whole game that these guys play with the consumer, and the consumer falls for it, and they don't give their headspace to the other side when it comes to what we're talking about here. And it's these foldable devices that are already out and are coming out. And I think that in 5 years, I think it will be more in the mainstream. And I think 10 years from now, we're going to see a slew of different budget, mid-range, and flagship price points for these. And then I think you're going to lose a little bit on some of those is going to be, whether you get a good camera, a really good camera, or you get a lot of high specs. But this is going to be something that's going to be here. And I'm looking forward to that. I actually am looking. I don't think the candy bar smartphone is going to go away, but I'm looking to see
It'll
But
become the new budget phone. It'll become
there's going to be a
the
lot
budget
more
phone.
options for consumers. You know, earlier Gigi said something about she didn't multitask until she got one of those
Right.
folded. And for me, I wasn't into multitasking. I'm about the pixel experience, right? Nexus, pure stock Android, very simple, simplistic experience. But when I got the LG Wing, boy, was I multitasking. I was, and it was. I started talking to myself, like going, "Wow, I cannot believe I'm utilizing both of these displays."
So let's address Grant's comment here. I really like this comment because there's conversation of Google bringing out a foldable device. And the question is going to remain that will it be loaded with features? Well, in reality, you don't need a lot of features to multitask because if you have the right setup, you're just going to be using multiple apps. So when Google brings out a folded device, which I am totally happy for that because obviously I love stock Android. So if and when Google decides to bring out a folding device amongst Pixel fans, it's going to be great. They might even be a little biased, and I'll say we might even be a little biased just because we finally got a folding stock Android device.
Ooh,
So
sounds
but
good.
multitasking, huh?
It sounds good, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
multitasking already exists on a single screen. It's just not comfortable, at least for Android. Apple still hasn't done picture in picture for YouTube on a single. They just won't do it, man. I heard that I got the update on my device, but it never worked. So I never heard anything else about them doing that. The picture in picture, but on Android, multitasking things already exist. People just don't use them. Now, whether they don't use them or not, because it's a single screen, I have no clue. But you can always do split screen on an Android phone for years.
Yeah.
But it's a little uncomfortable when you have two small screens opposed to two big screens. So this will always be better than having a single screen with this split into two. Two full applications is going to always be better. That's just how it works. You can't get around that. So, on the difference between that and the Z Fold is the Z Fold has those real narrow screens. It's even more narrow than the LG devices because the LG devices technically are two separate screens. They're just narrower than the Surface Duo. I don't think that people really know how to multitask until they go, like Gigi said, she started doing real multitasking once she got a device that could actually do it. So if we take away all these single screen quote unquote high end phones or whatever and replace them with wonderful folding devices that are actually functional for consumers, where do you think they'll end up? You think consumers will miss, because you can flip this into one screen. You don't have to use it as two screens if you don't want to. You can, this particular device can go 360 and it's totally, I mean, this is crazy right here. Beautiful hinge. It's like this is a Surface laptop in your pocket. That's what this feels like. Premium, man. Glass, strong hinge. It is just top notch hardware. So I think if we were to strip away all these single phone people and gave them a dual screen device, I think they'll be hooked. And then afterwards, you tell them, well, that costs $1,500. Then would they still be hooked? Which goes back to Trent's comment: price is going to dictate whether something's good or not. So a lot of devices are selling well, but that doesn't mean they're good. And a lot of the good devices, people might not buy them because of the price.
Right. Yeah, I think that's one of the determining factors. Like what they may be intrigued, they may enjoy the experience temporarily, and you let them use it. But I think they may just say, you know what, this is something I can use when the price comes down.
Now, are you excited about a stock Android? Because people say stock Android is boring, but stock Android has features. People just don't know how to use them, I guess. I mean, the Pixel devices are loaded with features. It's just that
Well,
people are overshadowed by Samsung's TouchWiz. Oops. I mean, One UI. They're overshadowed by Samsung's One UI. And Samsung has fantastic functionality. Let's not throw shade now. Samsung has great functionality on their software. However, people tend to say that um, stock Android is boring. That's just so crazy to me. But then an iPhone is exciting. I don't understand that nonsense. But
It's not boring to me. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
I bring in what I need, from the Play Store or other sources that I go to bring in other apps that I use. And could I utilize a stock Android foldable phone, a Pixel phone, with those apps that I bring? Yeah, that would easily. Um, so yeah, no, it doesn't sound boring to me at all.
no.
It's just I think that
Android Android already has a lot of multitasking features. People, unfortunately, you just can't use a lot of them because of the size of certain screens. Well, you can. It might be a little uncomfortable, unlike using a full size foldable device. So it boils down to me. I don't think foldables are not taking off because they're foldables. They're not taking off because of the pricing. That's why they're not taking off. When some consumers walk into an Apple store every year, do a trade in, and start over paying for the same phone. Ultimately, Samsung now has a trade in program. It's okay. There's no shade there. But I think the only thing that's going to stop foldables from really taking off by the year 2025, folks, that's 4 years away from now. 4.5 years from now, we should see in full rotation a foldable device is the new premium device. Like that is the high tier device. And all these single slab devices need to get bumped down to just mid tier type of devices. And I'm saying that way because the tech world will start to label and change things around when
right.
they see fit.
They'll categorize everything.
Yeah, they'll start to label things around when they see get fit to do so. But I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when the tech world decides, okay, I think I'm ready to label this as a flagship over something like, say, because now Samsung decided, hey, we're not going to, there's no Galaxy Notes. They said that. And it's so funny. A lot of people who buy Galaxy Notes don't even use the S Pen. They just want a big screen. And I just find that shocking that they don't even use the full potential of their device. They just wanted a big screen. And that's okay. Your money, you do what you want to do. I understand. But you could just get a tablet. You could.
Or you can just buy the S line.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or you can just buy the S line. Big Al says when Apple finally makes a foldable or a Surface Duo type device, then it will become way more popular. And unfortunately, that might be the case. That's just how it is sometimes. People end up following them for some reason blindly, like they're just such great innovators. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like I said before. Oh, go ahead.
What are the other turnoffs may be too that you have to unfold to get to your display? Well, you know that they have the Huawei Mate 2. What's that? The Huawei X2 Pro, which has the display on the outside. So you're still able to fold it open. It looks like a Samsung Galaxy Fold, but on the outside you already have that main display, and then you open it into another display. So maybe some of the consumers are waiting for that to become more of a product to choose from, unlike just the foldable. You see what I'm saying? Now, the Surface Duo, it's got the hint, so you're able to flip that around.
Both way. Yeah.
Right? But a true foldable, in a sense, if we want to call it a true fold, the display's all there, the hinges in the back underneath. So if you just pull it out of your purse or your pocket, you already have the display there. So that might be more of an intriguing catch for the eyeball, in a sense. Of course, a lower price too, but I mean, those things come out right now. They're still going to cost you a couple grand. You know?
Yeah, I think it's really just the price that's holding, and bad publicity from people out, from all the cheerleaders on the sidelines who never buy anything. They just follow what the other guy says. There's always a ton of people in the comment section of videos when it comes to the Surface Duo or the Fold, or just any folding device, anything that's different that challenges a person. You always have those cheerleaders in the comments saying, "Oh, avoid this." Hold on a second. They decided this big truck out here. I'm gonna mute myself out for a second because it's gonna be pretty loud. I think. I think it is. No, it's good. But you always have those people that are on the sidelines who are always on the sidelines, and all they do is promote the negative side of things. They don't know how to celebrate for some reason, or because if you really like technology, like you said earlier, if you're really into it, you have looked at the Surface Duo and made an opinion about it, or you wanted to buy it, or because you can't just write off something just because someone else said it's bad.
Oh
That was the
no,
life.
no. Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
and
do
we're
that.
talking about people who call themselves techies and call themselves tech enthusiasts. They write off something after using it a couple times, especially the Duo. I'm not even going to promote that website, but they just really went way over left with it. These guys are not using this device. They didn't buy it. Even if they did buy it, that's okay. Whether you bought something or not really shouldn't dictate your review. But the fact is, these guys went way in left field, talking about how horrible the Duo was. Even at $400, don't buy it. That's lame right there. That's just some childish, petty stuff that they went through. Personally, I guess, and those are the people you want to avoid. You can't write something off because it's very expensive, or it's out of your price range, or someone else said it was bad. You just can't do it. You have to use something for yourself to determine whether or not it's going to work for you. That's just what you have to do. You can't. But that's the problem with our tech community now. Everybody listens to the other person. They never go out. Again, like I was going to say earlier, I'm so tired of people saying, I'm going to wait on the second generation Surface Duo. The first one's trash. I'm going to wait on the second generation. There is no second generation. It doesn't exist yet. Those are all leaks and rumors. Like right now, people are saying, why buy a Z Fold 2 why buy a 3 when you can just get the 2? But we don't even have it yet. We don't even know what the upgrades are on the 3 yet. The 3 might turn out to be way better than the 2. Now, I personally am not interested in the 3 because I experienced the 2. And, I'm leaning more towards the Z Flip since I already have an actual folding device, in my opinion, that's functional and more to my liking. But I just think people are so quick to write off something without even trying it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they live like that. I don't know how.
Or at least do some homework, at least dig a little bit, educate yourself a little bit, you know, so, and that's basically why on the channel over here at Team My Project 13, I don't talk a lot about the folds because I've looked at them. I've been by, I go into the stores, they're there, but I have just enough knowledge of them, but not enough for me to really push any really serious information out to anybody when I just don't know as much as or as much as any of these folks in the stream who have them know. I would be given false opinions and false information, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm glad we're talking about this, because
Yeah,
it gets me thinking. Already I'm intrigued. I'm with you on the flip coming out. That's where
yeah,
I'm
I'm
at.
excited about the flip.
I'm excited to finally get my hands on something different and experience it. But yeah, I don't want to go that direction with the viewers. I just don't want to do that. I've been asked questions, and I'm honest to say, you know what, I really don't know, but I can lead you. I'll throw a link down, or go check out this channel or that channel. They can give you a lot more info, and it's usually going to be someone like you or some of these folks in here who have them. Gigi, obviously, you said has what, 3 or 4 of them. You
Yeah, she
know,
covered.
I know I seen a picture of all of her devices on Twitter. So,
Yeah,
you're the folks that are going to really be able to give your opinion. And for me, that point, that time is coming. So
yeah.
be ready when
I,
it does. So,
I think T says I'm going to get the Z Fold 3. I'm really on the fence about getting the Z Fold 3. I'm more intrigued right now by the Z Flip 3. And that's just how I feel right now. I mean, most of the devices that come out, I do buy them. But right now, I really don't have any intentions on getting the Z Fold 3. I want to give my money to the Z Flip 3. because I like the original Z Flip. I bought both of them, I believe, and I think they were nice. The form factor is really nice to have a smaller, compact, foldable device to store away, then open it into a big screen. That's good. I see a question we can address from Steve as well. I'll put that one up in just a second. But Grant says if you keep waiting in tech, then you'll never get anything, and that's the
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
That's true. So here's a comment or a question you can address here from Steve. We'll tackle this one. It says, what concerns do you have with Samsung Fold line compared to Microsoft Fold? So I've compared both of them side by side already. I've got several videos up on that, but I'll let you, if you want to tackle some of that first, Anthony, you can address maybe what concerns you possibly have, and then I'll tackle it as well.
What's the question again?
It's on the screen. Look up. Oh, I forgot you're using that little iPhone screen to stream. Steve says, what concerns do you have with Samsung Fold line compared to the Microsoft Fold line? Any concerns that you might have?
Well, the Microsoft Fold line right now is just it's split in two, right? It's not a full display, right?
I mean, he's asking what concerns you have about the two compared.
And again, I couldn't answer that honestly because I haven't used either one of them, so I couldn't really give you an honest,
I can.
I think that's your question, really. I mean, that's for you to answer. So,
okay, I'll address that because I've actually compared them already.
Yeah.
And my concern with Samsung is their screen. It's plastic over glass. It's plastic over glass, and if you in fact scratch that deep enough, it's a wrap. You're going to crack the glass up under it. So durability, that's an issue for me. People always say, well, the Surface Duo is not durable. Okay, yeah, neither is the Z Fold 2. The Z Fold line, they have thin plastic over thin glass. That should be a concern. None of these have an IP rating. But if I were to dunk this one in water, the Surface Duo in water over the Z Fold 2, if I pull them out fast enough, I think the Z Fold 2 might not survive because of that plastic layer on the thin glass and the more openings it has. It has more ports, little crevices for things to get into. So as far as build quality goes, though, that's my concern about the Z Fold lineup over or next to the Surface lineup. They're using, yeah, you get this full looking display and a smooth all the way across, no interruption down the center. But the flip side of that is that's thin glass, thin plastic. Worst case scenario for the Surface Duo is the glass scratches. With the Z Fold lineup, it's going to cut straight through it. You take a razor blade and run it down the front of a Surface Duo, nothing's probably really going to happen. But if you do that on a foldable from Samsung, at the moment, they're going to scratch, cut, break. It's a wrap. But another concern and a plus for Samsung is that right now they're on the devices that they have that are foldable. The cameras are better. The cameras are better on Samsung devices. This is for this to be Microsoft's first go at it. This was really, really good. This is a good first gen device when you think about it. This doesn't look like, unlike the first generation of the Z Fold, this is a much better representation of a first gen than on that Samsung side. So, I mean, there's pluses and minuses to both. If I could get a smooth, and I have to address this live, folks. There is a photo floating around of a supposed Surface Duo 2. Folks, that cannot be the Surface Duo 2 because that is clearly a Photoshop. Wake up, stop believing all these things. Microsoft is not going to put this huge bump on the back of the Surface Duo 2. Please stop. Wake up. Use better judgment. Please use better judgment. That leak that's going around of the so-called Surface Duo is a joke, man. It is no way the next Surface Duo. In my opinion, if you don't know how to spot a fake, something's wrong.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, that junk right there. Dude, that is the back of another phone. The leaks of the Surface Duo 2, the hardware, have already leaked out like 6 months ago. they added a small camera bump on the back, a little single hole like the old Pixel devices, like the Pixel 2.
Yeah.
That's what that camera bump looks like. Now, if for some reason they decided to change, okay, I think that looks horrible. But to me, that totally looks like a Photoshop. It looks
Yeah,
photoshopped.
that doesn't look.
It
Yeah.
looks like I forgot the phone it is, um, but it looks like a Photoshop. It looks like a Photoshop. There's going to be an upside to Samsung style and Microsoft style, but I think the Microsoft style is way more functional. I don't know what the heck that crap is. Those are all Photoshops. Those are Photoshops. Let me put you big up on the screen here. Let me see if I can do it here.
Did I freeze?
No, you didn't freeze. I was trying to make you big on the screen here. You were holding that up. Oh wait, okay, I think I got it. No, I think you did freeze up a little bit. But nonetheless, durability. Some people say that durability is an issue why they won't buy a foldable device. But durability is an issue with all phones right now. All phones are breaking unless they're rugged style devices. Almost all of them are shattering and cracking and then beat up in some way or another.
Honestly, for the money, I mean, realistically, I mean, like when I had the V60 with the second display or the LG Wing, I mean, obviously those displays are not a full display like a foldable, like a Samsung foldable. And I think that in the end of the day, for my money, that would be a concern of mine, putting out that much money for a device that one day I'm going to look down and there's going to be a ripple down the middle or something's going to be odd. And I'm going to be looking at that, and that's just going to bother me because those kind of things bother me. So,
So listen to this theory right here. It's not even a theory. I think this is the way I see it. So there are two types of, because some people are saying that this isn't a foldable device, but what they are mistaken is Samsung wants you to use their device as a phone. That's why they have the phone on the outside, right? The extra screen. And then they want you to open up into a tablet. That is not what Microsoft is doing. This is actually two different screens that can be used for two different things. Some people are mistaking the Z Fold lineup with the Surface lineup, saying that they're the same. I don't think so. Real multitasking and functionality is going on over here, I say. Because if you put two screens side by side on the Z Fold 2, what does it look like? Yeah. What does it look like? And then there's no phone application out here. No, there's no screen out here. But you can fold this one all the way around and get to a single display if you want to. So with the Surface lineup, it is not so much a phone. It's a device with a phone application and capabilities. But with Samsung, they're kind of promoting their product as a tablet on the inside. That's why you can have this seamless display all the way across, with no crease. But clearly, people who are having the single displays like this, and I think grouping them together like that, that's, to me, I think that's not the correct way to go, because they want you to look at that more as a tablet, not so much a folding phone, if you will. They're opening up into a full size tablet, which is cool. And like you said, my concern would be if that was my only thing, I'm going to pay $3,000 for something that over a couple of years of doing this, it's going to break.
or it's
You
going
know,
to have some sort of defect
right?
down the center.
Huh?
Is it normal?
No.
Taking out the trash.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be a concern, I think, of a lot of people when you have something that's going to be doing this over and over and over again. But it just comes down to me to perspective. When I ask the question, or will folding devices be a thing by 2025? We don't really know.
Well, I guess it's just me, folks. It's just me and all of you. Oh,
I
no,
had
he's
to no,
back.
no, no. I turned my camera off. I had to yell into the other room over there. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I really hope by that time that we get to see competitiveness against a lot of different companies, and we get to see uh, uh, a $700-800 foldable by then. You know what I'm saying?
We
So
will.
and a lot of different options because we're all different and we're going to want to use them differently. And the more the competition becomes real and is out there, it's going to benefit us. So I think that's and it'd be nice to walk into a carrier store and see more than just one foldable back in the corner somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So
The thing is, whoever has the deepest pockets, you're gonna see them at the front of the store. We're getting promoted the most, and that's all gonna be Samsung and Apple being promoted like crazy. You ever gone into a store and asked for a Pixel or asked for LG, and they say, no, you don't want to get that. You want to get an iPhone. You're like, wait a minute, I came in here to get the new LG. People still buy LG. These are the sales reps. They don't know the first thing about selling a device. You're supposed to be selling a person what they need, not what you think they want or what's current. That's that's how these young cats, they don't know how to sell anything, man. They're selling a person on what they think is hot because again, they're getting commission and they just want the commission for the sale. They don't care about you as a consumer. That's why I do not like shopping in stores. I do not like it. Those reps are clueless. They have no clue what they're talking about and they just want to sell and that's all they care about. Now, what is your since the Samsung is coming up, man? I believe this is it right here.
the event on the 11th.
Yeah, it's coming up. You can reserve yours right there. Hit that link and reserve it. But what is if you are interested in the Z Fold 3 or the Z Flip 3? What is the wish list item that it has to have? Like, what is it? What is it that if you just aren't going to give it a second look, or you just it has to have these things?
Well, I think it always, I mean, for me, it's always about it being a phone, but I mean, in working with connectivity, it's got to work great. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the performance and functionality is all going to be there. I think after that, for me, is I want a good experience with those cameras on a flip phone. I want to be able to enjoy them. I think second for me would be the display and flipping that open and watching my movies and videos and hopefully there's nothing there that takes my focus away from what I'm watching that has something to do with that display opening up the way it does in the middle, that center area. Is there something going to be there that I'm going to go, wait, I can see that while I'm watching a movie, and that's going to be very annoying. So I just want a great experience while using the display when it's open and some good cameras. And I want to see how often how easy it is to use something like that out of pocket in hand and flip it open and use it. So, I mean, outside of that, I'm not really asking for much, Jay. I just want to get to the part of experiencing it, and I hope that overall I'm sold on it. So
I think this comment right here. Hold on a second, guys.
of course, you guys down below here in the live stream down here, leave a comment on what if you were to buy one of these devices, the Flip or the Fold 3, what would be on your wish list for either one of these devices? But I'm a pretty simple guy, man. A good looking display so I can have a great media experience. Uh, two two speakers. It's got to have two speakers
It will.
and some good cameras because I already, if you know Samsung, you shouldn't have any issues with performance and functionality.
Yeah,
That
but
should
on the current Z Fold devices, were the cameras fantastic or spectacular?
no. Well, from what I'm hearing, okay, I let me retract that. I have not had one, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, no. But I've never had one to say it could be or not. I
I
may say,
I, I love.
I may say, hey, I don't know what they're saying because I'm totally digging on what I'm getting from this device. So
I
I've enjoyed devices, Jay, that others called crap. I've enjoyed them.
Same here. Same here.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I actually
So
love the Z Fold 2 cameras, man. I thought they were great. I recorded a lot of footage with the Z Fold 2, and people didn't know it. I thought they weren't stellar like people would want them to be, but I recorded a lot. I think what happened with me is I like the 5:4 aspect ratio because I could watch full screen on my Z Fold 2. I thought they were nice, man. I really liked it. But they weren't stellar, top notch, but they didn't match the S21's cameras in any kind of way. So they needed work. So I think it's more along the lines of a lot of it is going to boil down. Stop. A lot of it is going to boil down to the consumer themselves. Because everybody's going to have this. I tell you what's going to happen in the tech community though. Everybody's going to have this super wish list that is just not realistic, and they're going to want the phone to cost $12.95. A company is going to have to try to remain profitable, so they're not going to price these devices really, really low. We won't see these really affordable folding devices for at least another 4 years. That's why I said 2025 in my guess. I think the Hawks TV said around 2023 you should start to see some more folding devices on hand. And that's probably true. But what would the pricing be? Because right now there are a ton of folding devices out there. They're not in the U.S. and they are priced out of the yin yang, folks. They are priced really, really high, and it's not within our reach. We could go ahead and buy them, but would it be beneficial to us? It's going to take some time. BW1 says, I think no matter what the price is, they will find a way to justify its pricing because of Samsung or Apple's narrative has to continue the YouTube CS. And this is what I said earlier. I don't know if you were in here earlier, BW1, but I said this earlier when I asked that question about pricing. I think that what people are going to do is go up on the pricing instead of going down. If they see Apple and Samsung continuously charging $4,500, who's going to come out with that $5,000 foldable? Samsung's was what, $3,750? Remember the Tom Thorne or Tom Harcorn or whatever that one was, the gray one? That one was what, $3,750 or something like that, or $3,500? That's close, folks, for a freaking foldable phone. And then you can see them online here 2 years later for $800, $700. People, but those are collectibles. Who's going to bring out that $5,000 foldable phone and try to make it the norm? Right now, I think Gigi has one that costs $4,000 or $5,000. She might not have paid that, but that's what it costs. She hit a lick on that one, man. She got that for dirt cheap. Wish I had seen it. But yeah, Tom. Okay, so Tom Brown is the company, the person, whoever that dude is. I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. But they slapped the name on there, and that one came out at over $3,000, if I'm not mistaken. It was like $3,500 or something like that before taxes. So
wow.
somebody's going to bring out this phone that's $5,000-$6,000 and try to make it mainstream. The problem is so many consumers still don't understand that you are not important. Whenever people figure that out, we will drive prices so low it's incredible. You'll be able to get everything. They'll go back to contracts just to make money off of us. They'll go back to 2 year and they'll start talking about we're going to do a 3-year contract now. Yeah, that's what they'll do, because if we don't control the market, which we don't, and we have the power to do so, that's what's going to happen. We can drive the market down, but until then, they're going to keep on. They're going to keep on driving the prices up. That's what they're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So, discussion of folding phones is one that, to me, is going to continue on. I think it should go on. I think it's going to be a matter of who's going to start the new trend first. Because again, a folding device isn't new. It's just that if the powers that be are the influencers out there who influence everybody to buy everything, if they don't say it's cool, it won't sell. If they say, well, Apple didn't do it, so I'm not buying it. If when that happens, then we'll see. Then we will see. Can't see anything. I say that I can't see anything. I took my bifocals off. Took my bifocals off. So yeah, yeah, man, I couldn't. It went blurry. I tried to freelance it and kind of get back, and it's not happening. So thanks for joining us every Tuesday, folks, at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Me and Anthony will be here, man, bringing new topics to you. Sometime next month, we will be covering one of your favorite devices. I'll leave it at that. But I'm glad that you're able to come on every Tuesday with us and enjoy these random conversations that we choose to spark up. Good to see you guys here. Some of you guys are driving home from work. Some of you guys are at work. Some of you guys are at home. Some of you guys are in the bed, depending on what part of the world you're in. Yeah, they are. I mean, for different parts of the country, they are asleep or just getting breakfast. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by. And I am Jay Will, and this is my Project 13. And we are going to get out of here, man. You can close out if you want to. You got anything else to say?
No.
Tell them where they can find you at, man. Tell them where they can find your social media and all that stuff, even though they might know already.
Thanks again for coming on. I appreciate Jay. Thanks for having me. This has been fun. The last few weeks have just been fun and educating, and looking forward to just doing this as often as we can. And I appreciate all of you coming in, man, and just supporting and listening to real talk, man. Just conversation, opinions, and thoughts. And this is all that's all you're basically involved with here. We get just as much out of you as you may get something out of us. And I really appreciate that. Anyway, I am myproject13, Anthony. You can find me over at Twitter at Anthony131368 and over at Team myproject13. So that's it. Thank you. Peace. God bless. Stay safe and healthy.
We are going to get out of here because this dog just will not leave me alone, man. She's just in and out, man. This is swamp. This whole big old house, and
she needs
right
some love.
here.
She needs some
man,
love.
please. So just push this dog out on the back porch. I appreciate y'all stopping by, man. Well, I'll see y'all guys next Tuesday. We're gonna have a good one for you. Take care.
Take care.
Next